Hey, this is Scott Townsend. Welcome back to the Scott Townsend Show. And today is just another riff. Today is just another one take, no edits. See if I can do this. Today, I just kind of want to visit with you a little bit about the work update. So I started work at Lowe's, and I started 3 weeks ago now, and I got scheduled. I was scheduled for 1 day for 2 weeks, 1 day every week for 2 weeks, and this week 2, and next week more. And so that's it feels good to be gainfully employed. There's it kind of gets on your head after a while when you're just sitting idle. And I wasn't sitting idle. I was, working on this podcast, and thanks to you guys listening, subscribing, I had something to do during the time that I was unemployed and looking for a job, which I still am. It doesn't mean that I've quit looking for a job. It just means that in the meantime, I've got different streams of income coming in through either the podcast or through Lowe's, or I'm planning on several other revenue streams. So who knows? It might just be a accumulation of revenue streams instead of just one job that does everything. So we'll see. But yeah, so Lowe's, standing for 5 hours at least on a concrete floor all day was a little tough. And Saturday was 7 hours. And I almost didn't think I was going to make it because my lower back and my neck were just killing me. And I hadn't done my stretches that day, and I knew I should have. And what I mean by stretches, it's just, sitting on the floor with your back against the wall, leaning over, trying to touch your toes, balancing on 1 foot at a time for 30 seconds, sitting cross-legged for at least a minute, if not longer, and then doing deep knee bends. And my wife and I have started doing this together. So it's makes it more fun. Actually, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. But I didn't do the stretches. I knew I should. I knew I should have, but I didn't. So I checking my time here. So I thought I said this, but I didn't. So anyway, okay. So one take, no edits. So Sunday, when I came home Saturday, I was just thrashed. I just laid down and could barely move. Tylenol. It took so much Tylenol that my stomach hurt, and it was just a bad day. It wasn't a bad day, but you know what I mean. The muscles were tight and sore and stiff, and didn't even feel like I could walk. So Sunday I did 2 sets of stretches, one set in the morning, and another set in the afternoon. And boy, did that help. I mean, that helped so tremendously. It was night and day from Saturday. Plus, I also took some water. Having worked in trade shows for so long, that's one of the secrets, 2 secrets in trade shows when you're on your feet all day. I guess it'd be for retail as well. Wear comfortable shoes. Make sure you have comfortable shoes, and drink lots of water. Keep the water flowing. So I brought bottles of water with me on Sunday and just kept it with me. That was great. That was, man, so much better. So it's either stretching before going into Lowe's or no Lowe's. So I choose to stretch. The people I work with are great. I'm in the paint department, which, I really have. I've never mixed paint before. I've painted. I've used paint to paint my house and rooms and whatnot. But as far as mixing colors go, I've not done anything like that. So it was a lot of fun to learn how to do that. And it's amazing, the computer that dispenses the right amount of what they call colorant to make a paint a very specific color. And it's fun to mix it. It's fun to put it together and see all the different colors that come through. One of the things that I was really wanting to do when I got to Lowe's was put into practice some of the things I've learned through the years. One of which is using the customer's name. I've always told people before in retail, especially if you're in a drive-through or you're at a store where you take credit cards, I've always told people you should take the credit card, look at it, and use the customer's name. So the customer gives you the credit card, it's Betty Jones, whatever. Hey, Betty, how's it going? Run the credit card, whatever. Make the transaction, give them back the credit card, hand them their products. Hey, Betty, have a great weekend. Hope to see you back soon. Try to use the customer's name at least 3 times. But I never see anybody do that. I've told people about it. I've preached it. A person's name is music to their ears. And I notice that when people use my name, but it's very rare. But there's a huge opportunity for people to engage a customer in either a conversation or at least to make the customer feel like they've been heard, seen, noticed by using their name. And you're just not another number. You're just not another person that you're taking money from. So I mean, it just makes you feel good. Don't know why. There's science behind it. Look it up. But I started, if a customer comes up to the paint department, said I'd like to get this. They'll take a paint chip or the piece of paper with the different colors on it. I want this color, so I'll write down the particulars. And your first name, John. Okay, John. All right, John. First, they'll say, what's your first name? They'll say, John. I'll go, John. All right, John, I'll get to work on this and let you know when it's ready. So I've already used their name twice. So I go back, mix the paint, put John on the barcode that gets printed out and stuck to the top of the paint can. John. Then when we're ready, take the gallon or quart, whatever, of whatever color it is, up to the counter. And if I see John, I'll say, hey, John, here's your paint. It's ready. He'll say, hey, thanks. So now I've used his name 3 times. If he's not around or she's not around, then just paging. Say, John to the paint department, your paint's ready. John to the paint department, your paint's ready. Then they come up. They've been alerted. Their name's been used again. And so I just believe that creates just a special bond between me and the person who I've never met. Now, at least I have my name on my jacket and I know their name. And what's also funny is if I see them in the store later on that day, let's say, for example, they had to come back to get something else, which always happens to me when I'm doing a project at home. I make 2 or 3 trips to Lowe's. If I see the person, like Beverly last night, I saw her again. I was like, hey, Beverly, how's it going? You haven't made it out of here yet? No, I had to come back and get some more stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I've already started slowly learning some customers, recognizing them. And I've only been there 3 days. This yesterday would be the 4th day. That's got to help. That's what owner, business owner, or establishment would not want someone to use the customer's name. It's not even a trick, although I guess you could call it a trick, a hack, or whatever. But if you're sincere about it, you want to know the person, you want to get to know the person, you want them to feel like they made a good decision coming to your store and spending money. They vote with their feet, they come in, they get whatever, they come through the checkout line. When's the last time a cashier took your credit card and or you stick your credit card in? I don't know about this. This part I don't know. When you stick your credit card chip in or swipe it, does the credit card information and the name show up on their screen? That I don't know. So that if it does, then you're golden. Hey, John, thanks a lot for stopping by. Have a great weekend. If it doesn't, and you don't see their credit card, that might present a little bit of a problem. So I have to look into that. I have to figure out if that actually happens when they swipe, if your information shows up on the cashier's screen, so the cashier can get the chance to use the customer's name. Anyhow, in the paint department, if you're here and you go to Lowe's and I'm there, chances are great I'm going to use your name, make you feel welcome, make you feel like you're known, that you've been heard, that you've been noticed, and that you're valuable enough to learn your name. And so that's really cool. The other thing about, I think that adds value. I've only been there 4 days, and I think I've already added value by doing that little thing. You know how much that cost to say their name? It cost, I calculated it the other day, and to use the customer's name at least 2-3 times costs $0. It costs $0, nothing. And yet you've added, what else can you do to add extreme value? Maybe it's not extreme. Let's just call it value. You added value by the same thing as at church. I've noticed that there's one guy in particular, he's a greeter at the front door, and he always uses my name. I think that's great. But you go to any other door, if you go through any other door and the greeters come out, hey, how's it going? Great, yeah. Never use my name, never ask my name. I used to even wear a name tag that I got from Disney 40 years ago just to help people know who I am, but no one noticed and took the time to learn. So there's a missed opportunity there, a hospitable opportunity to make you feel welcome, except for this one guy. He does a great job. I go through his doors because he's always got something to say. Hey, Scott, how's it going? Blah, 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 whatever. It's cold outside, isn't it? Or nice day, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Didn't have to be much. But I remember it. I remember him. What's that quote? It's not... People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how they made you feel. And I know that when this guy uses my name, it makes me feel good. I remember that. So Maya Angelou or somebody said that. So I use the name, and it's amazing how many people don't. They have the opportunity to learn your name, And even if you aren't given a credit card, let's say if you're a greeter at church or a nonprofit, you're at some event and you're greeting people, try to learn one person's name. An employee. When I was at ABB, I'd always try. We didn't wear. We did. We wore tags, but they were usually down on the belt loop, and you couldn't see it very well. So I would just try to learn. I made a game out of it. I wanted to learn people's names, so every day I would try to learn. Instead of trying to learn 250 people's names all at once, just one a day. Just learn one person a day. And, make a game out of it. And then when you see him in the hallway, you can say, "Hey, John, how's it going?" Or, "Hey, Betty, how's it going?" And instead of going, "Hey, what's up, man? Dude, what's up?" You can say their name, and you're going to be one of the few people that actually does that. And it's going to be noticed. And you'll be recognized for it. And you'll have better relationships because of it. It's like magic, but it's not. It's just work. I can't. I'm. And then you hear people say, "Oh, I'm just terrible with names." You're right. We're all terrible with names. So work on it. Get over it. If the person's name is Betty Lou, then figure out a way to remember Betty Lou, or make a rhyme out of it. Whatever you got to do, write it down 3 times. Say it to yourself 5 times. And the more you do it, and the more you exercise that muscle, that your brain power, the easier it'll get. At first, it'll be hard, and you'll use the excuse, "Oh, I'm just not good with names. I always forget people's names." Well, figure it out. Get over it. Hang on. Excuse me. I should have used the cough button. Okay. So, excuse me. So that's a lot. That's it for names. Working at Lowe's. Oh, the other thing about at Lowe's is I've tried to develop the habit of coming up with 10 ideas a day. I got that from James Altucher, from the James Altucher Show. He has a great podcast. And so for the last 4 days that I've been at Lowe's, I try to come up with at least one idea that might help improve the department, improve the process. So, I do they have an idea box, a suggestion box? I don't know. I'll have to find out. But I figure I've already come up with 3 or 4 ideas. Now, are all of them good ideas? Absolutely not. Probably not. Probably a bunch of crap. But there's going to be one, if you come up with one a day, if you have one a day, 365 days a year, whatever, however often you work, surely 1 or 2 of those are going to be something that could either help save money, make money, improve efficiency, productivity. So my plan is to just turn these ideas over to my manager. And in this case, it's this guy he's a great guy. And if he likes it, wants to do something with it, rock on. If he doesn't, that's fine too. As soon as I've turned over the idea, write it down, write it out, and not just on the back of a napkin, but actually take the time to write the idea out in almost like an essay. What problem are you trying to solve? What have you noticed that needs improving? And how is this idea going to improve the process, or help make money, or save money, improve safety, whatever. Make it look legit, because you want it to be legit. You want to give it the best chance of being adopted, and at least try it out. Maybe the idea, after they try the idea out, it doesn't work. It's not working. That's okay too. More power to the company that at least will try an idea that they get, if it passes the smell test and it comes off like it's going to be a good idea to implement, or at least try, and then try it and see if it actually works in the real world, or maybe it doesn't. Okay. If it doesn't, that's great. If it does, that's great. But what company, what business doesn't want their employees, the people, you want to know how things work? If you want to know how the job gets done, ask the frontline employees. They're the ones that deal with the customers every day. They're the ones that mess with the product, handle the product, answer the questions, answer the phone, work the computers, open it up, shut it down. And so if these people, I heard if a leader quits listening, then all of a sudden they'll notice that they're surrounded by people with nothing to say. You don't want that. These people all have great ideas as to what to do in their department. They deal with it every day. So if they come up and say, "Hey, I've got an idea," or I've noticed something here that we should maybe try, man, that's gold. Management's all spending so much money on consultants and crap, where these people come in, they don't know what's going on. It's great in theory, and they've learned it in college or in their past experience with somebody else. But very rarely do you see upper management have lunch with the employees in the employee break room. They're always surrounded by their entourage and their day-long mind-numbing meetings. Just show up someday. If you're upper management, show up someday. Hang out in the break room. Listen to the people talk. Listen to what they're talking about. Ask them for their ideas. Maybe thumb through some of the ideas that have been turned into the suggestion box, and acknowledge those ideas. Well, people need to remember, and now I'm talking to you, the employee, if you have an idea, and you need to realize that a lot of your ideas are going to suck. I realize that. If I come up with 100 ideas, probably, less than 10%, 9%, 8% are going to be worth looking at. Most of them are going to suck. But that's okay. You have to get through the sucky ideas to get to the gold. And I guess people just don't want to do that. They don't want to hear that's a bad idea, or we've tried that and it didn't work. I mean, your responsibility is to see something that you think needs to be improved. Say something. You see something, you say something, and then see what happens. And if they do something with it, great. If they don't do something with it, that's on them, not you. You did your job. You turned in the notice. You turned in your idea. You saw a problem. You came up with an idea to fix it. Your idea might not be, it might not be the best thing to do, but there's a grain of truth in your idea, and maybe maybe it needs to be tweaked a little bit, and then it works. So just make a game out of it. Just when you see something that needs to be done, if you see an improvement that needs to be made, make the improvement. Sometimes you don't have to ask. Like, I didn't ask if I could use the customer's name. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe they don't want me to. I don't know. I haven't heard because I hadn't asked. I'm just doing it. But it's a good idea. Maybe the other departments should do the same thing. So you turn that idea in as a suggestion. So there. Lowe's, paint, mixing paint. You can just show up and mix paint and go home, or you can do all these things. You can look for ways to improve. What company, what business doesn't want? I've said this several times already. What company doesn't want an employee to show up and do a good job? Come up with ideas on how to improve money, make money, save money, improve safety, the customer experience. Who doesn't want someone to speak up when they see something that's either wrong or could be improved, whatever. So that's my riff. I'm at Lowe's right now. Don't know how much longer I'll be there. Could be a while. But while I'm there, I'm going to do a really good job. I'm going to learn all I can. I even took a video of, I need to learn where all the items are in the paint department. So on one particular aisle on the left-hand side, I just took my video camera and I recorded everything that's on aisle 7 on the left-hand side so that I can go back and create a map of what products are on that aisle on the left-hand side in what sections. Like there's section 1, 3, 5, they're odd numbered. I think on the other side of the aisle, it's even numbered. So so when a customer comes up to you and says, hey, do you tell me where the duct tape is? You know exactly where the duct tape is. And you walk them right to it. Don't tell them where it is. Show them where it is. If at all possible. If you're slammed and there's 10 customers waiting on paint to be mixed, that might not be a good time to walk away from the paint department and walk a customer to the product. But when at all possible, if a customer asks, hey, where are the brushes? Or where's the Gorilla Glue? Here, come here, I'll show you. And you walk. And that's a trick I learned at Disney. It's not a trick. It's just good customer service. I learned that at Disney many years ago. So there's more ideas. I'll go into those at a later date. So thanks for staying with me, for those of you who have stayed with me this long. And that's it. buymeacoffee.com/Scott Townsend. You want to help support this podcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Scott Townsend and choose 5, 10, 15, 20 dollars to help support this podcast and ensure that we keep this thing going. Anyway, thanks for staying with me, checking in. It's great to have you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, send me an email, scott@scotttownsend.info, scott@scotttownsend.info. So anyway, thanks for listening to the Scott Townsend Show. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.